Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the qualifying watch-along for the 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Yeah, it's Saudi Grand Prix weekend. Are you excited? Are you excited? You better be. Yeah, looking forward to this. As always, I love quali. I love quali. I love my F1, so very much looking forward to seeing what happens out there today. Fascinating weekend. Looks like McLaren are team to beat, which is probably going to come as no surprise to anybody. But yes. I'll run through the times in a minute. Let's do some shout-outs in chat before we get into it too much. I am prepared today, which is quite scary, but I might not look like I'm prepared because I've got nothing to waffle about right from the start. So, hey, Pascal, I saw Tim in here earlier. Hey, John, see what you're up to, mate. Hope you're all right. Yeah, hey to you. To Annette as well. Hope you're well. Kevin, Pascal's here. Pascal got a second shout-out. Look at that. Anushka, Alfie. I'll give Kevin a second shout-out because why not? The Hat Rust as well. Yes. Yeah, it is a Mercedes t-shirt. Yes, I decided this week that for these streams, rather than wearing my hey to David as well, rather than wearing my my clothes, I thought I'd get some F1 merch for these streams. So I'm going to get different teams for different weekends and show my non-bias as I celebrate my new George Russell fandom. Apparently, according to some. But anyway, yeah, good. I'm looking forward to this as usual. I think we're going to have a closer field than perhaps FP3 suggested. So Lando Norris was fastest this morning in FP3, or this afternoon I suppose, with Oscar Piastri 24 thousandths, 200ths, whatever you want to call it, behind in second place. George Russell third, 6 tenths off the pace, with Max Verstappen in fourth, 2 tenths further back, 8 tenths off the pace. I think it's been much closer than that, but I still think McLaren probably going to get pole today. Charles Leclerc 5th for Ferrari, Albon 6th and Sainz 7th. So Williams looking good, which is great to see. 8th for Gasly, 9th for Tsunoda and 10th for Kimi Antonelli. I forgot his first name then. It's the merch. Kimi Antonelli, 11th for Hadjar, 12th for Lewis Hamilton. Where was he in the end? 1.2 off the fastest time. Yeah, good whacker time off his teammate as well. 0.4 of a second is that. Liam Lawson 13th, Fernando Alonso 14th, Jack Doohan 15th, Ollie Bearman 16th, 17th for Nico Hulkenberg, 18th for Esteban Ocon, 19th for Gabriel Bortoleto, and 20th for Lance Stroll. 2 seconds, 1.989 separating the entire field, and some really tight gaps in there. But obviously FP3 isn't always fully representative because we don't know what everyone's doing with run plans, but also very different conditions this evening. The end of FP3, just for reference later, air temperature 29.6 degrees, track temperature 44.7. That should come down at least a little bit under the lights in Bahrain. So there we go. Pascal says, can't wait to see you in a Sauber shirt. Do you know that's the one I'm having the most trouble getting hold of, is a Sauber shirt? I may have to go a year older or something, see if we can get an older one. See how we go. I've accidentally made thin dough pizza and it tastes awesome, says yeah. Sounds great. Just pizza. That sounds good to me. I'll have whatever you're making. That's absolutely fine. Send it my way. Although, it might be quite disgusting by the time it arrives. But where are we? 22 minutes away from the start of quali today. So I thought we'd do today a bit of a Q&A. You get your questions in. I'm just going to waffle for a little bit, as always, about this weekend and where we are in Formula One. Not really, unless I've missed something. I don't think I had any massive storylines this week so far in F1. It's been a little bit quiet on the news front. There have been a few little rumblings around the 2026 rules and bits like that, but nothing has maybe jump out and scream wow in terms of any driver contracts or controversy or anything like that. So let me know if I've missed something. Absolutely throw it at me and I'll discuss it with you, but I can't think of anything that's been overly dramatic this week. Which, final week of a triple header, maybe that's to be expected. Yeah. Why does McLaren always dominate every weekend with the flex wing, says David? Because they've got the best car with the flex wings on them. Look, a lot of people ask about the flex wings. I can't wait for Spain. And what happens is we end up with, think engine party modes, think blown diffuser, think all that sort of thing, where we have a massive change mid-season or something like that. There's a technical directive or a clarification and everyone goes, the fastest team are going to struggle. They turn up to that race, they've made the changes, everything's as it was. So often those technical directives make no difference whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not that's going to be the case again with this one, or whether it does shake things up a little bit. The funny one is always, for me, a team that complains the most about them ends up being the one that suffers with them. But yeah, let's see. I'm not going to McLaren overall, with or without flexi wings, have a good car and will still be the favourites for the title. So maybe I'm naive there. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all that matters to me is Ferrari are still all over the place. I think to quote Lewis Hamilton on his team radio this afternoon when talking about the gaps in the sectors and 7/10 off here and 4/10 off there, I think his response was, geez. So he's not very happy at all. Not happy, which is fair enough. Last technical directive that made any difference was double diffusers in 2009, says John T. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to think that far back in the next 20 minutes, but you're probably right, actually. Thinking about all the ones we've had in between, they don't really make a huge difference, but this one might. We'll see what happens when we get to Spain. Sorry, completely off topic, but where did you get the helmets on the shelf? They look lovely, says Anushka. I buy from, it's DRM helmets. Helmets. They are, they usually go to all the shows, Autosport and race and things, like some race as well. So I always buy from there because they're good quality. They're a bit pricey. I think they're always going to be pricey, but yeah, got them from DRM helmets. I got the purple Lewis Hamilton one was from the Autosport show this year. That was expensive. They know their audience there. I got the Michael Schumacher one I actually bought from the official Michael Schumacher shop, I believe. And the other two came from DRM online. So definitely have a look. Go check them out because they've got some good stuff there. Some exclusives as well, some signed stuff. There's a Jensen Button one that I want from his Brawn 2009 season that's been signed that I've had a look at. But it's about 350 quid, and I thought I'd probably better not if I keep buying T-shirts. It's probably not a good idea. If not Norris, who do you think would take the crown between Russell or Piastri? It says all-wheel dingus. I mean, as it is now, Piastri, because of the car, identical cars. I don't know, to be honest. I'm probably in the recency bias mode, I suppose. I'd have to say Piastri because he's on such great form, but then Russell's had a great start to the season as well. So if the cars are as they are now, then Piastri all day long. But I don't know. I still think Russell might be a dark horse. We'll see what happens in Spain with this technical directive, see if it changes anything. But that could be a question we're having or a conversation we're having towards the end of the year. You never know. You never know. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to think about technical directives. We had the party modes one that everyone thought was going to change everything, and it didn't, did it? It just didn't make any difference at all. But there were other ones as well that I seem to recall. But yeah. Aussie says Marta. Yes. I will do some predictions in a minute as well with you all, and we'll get some names in there too. So, Hikaru says if Max takes it today, he's winning the championship. Pole, if he wins tomorrow, as he did in Japan, I think he's a bit like, you throw him in that Russell category that I just threw in there as well. If he keeps picking up the points consistently early doors, and Red Bull get on top of their car issues or the technical directive shakes up the field at all in Spain, then he's got a great shot at making it number 5. What he's doing in that car is pretty big. Yeah, says Das did have an impact. Das was a banning though, wasn't it? It wasn't a technical directive. It wasn't, because technical directive aren't necessarily changes to the rules as such. They clarify the rules, don't they? Whereas Das was kind of like, that is banned for next season. So it would have had a difference, yeah, absolutely. But that wasn't sort of a mid-season tweak. That was a mid-season, you're not to do that for next season kind of thing. The Sky coverage right now is reminding me of how much of a great bloke Seb is, says Fudd. Also, every time I see Seb Vettel, I just think we need you in a car, mate. We miss you, really. We need him in a car. I do like Seb Vettel, as you all know. Marta wants the Ferrari yellow helmet, the Hamilton one. She says that it's a nice helmet. I want Leclerc's Monaco 24, where he won. Yeah, last year where he won there. That would be good. That would be good. I'd enjoy that. Very much so. The track feels dangerous. I keep expecting a fast and heavy crash. Is it just me? No, every time I see a yellow flag, I think it might have been Crofty that said it actually in comms today. Every time you see a yellow flag, you sort of take a deep breath and go, right, here we go, what are we cutting to? So I'll be honest, it's a track where I have huge respect for the drivers because it is so high speed, street track, dangerous. but it's not a track I really enjoy. I remember the first season we came here, I was just tense all weekend. I'm not quite so much now that we've had the tweaks to the track to improve it. You know, the widening of corners and the moving of barriers and stuff like that has helped massively, but it still seems crazy to me that in an era of safety we're at a track like this, but at the same time, you know, this is where you respect the drivers, isn't it, and what they're doing. So there is that. It just I'll say it against it, like, it looks like a guppy to me. Somebody said a wonky butter knife. It's also been called other things. You can probably use your imagination when it's on screen later to work out what that is, but I think it looks like a guppy, but that's probably just me. Probably it's just me. John says, same, I brace myself every time a yellow comes up. You're just expecting something, and 9 times out of 10 it's a car has just sort of gone into the runoff and then got going again. Yeah. First time in Jeddah looked like fatal accident waiting to happen, says yeah. Yeah, they made the changes for 22 then, didn't they? The widening of some corners or sight lines, I think it was, they altered with the barrier changes, and then widening of 27, the final corner. Definitely. Norris will be first, Hamilton will be P10, mark my words, says Formula Filmed. We will try and remember that just for you. We'll try and remember it just for you. But Piastri first and Hamilton 10th, or Norris first and Hamilton 10th, not necessarily unrealistic given where that Ferrari seems to be at the moment, and the pace of that McLaren. So, yeah, I'm not going to say that's a mad prediction. I don't think you're too far off there. How many red flags or safety cars do you think we'll have tomorrow for brownie points, says Anushka. 2 safety cars, I think I put in the preview. No red flags. That's what I'm going to go with there on that one. Definitely. I did want to just check, actually, before we get too far into waffle and chat. Just, as he says, 15 minutes into the stream of waffle and chat. Just wanted to double check and see if there has been any big news, because I kind of feel like I should have checked that before we went live and I completely forgot. I think most of it is just... I know that Thomas has clarified with Red Bull today that Yuki Tsunoda is going to have a test session ahead of Miami, I believe. Let me just check the dates for that. So Yuki Tsunoda is to drive Red Bull's title-winning RB19 car for 2023 in a private test at Silverstone next week. That has been confirmed to planetf1.com. So Thomas has chased that up today. He's going to be taking the RB19 around Silverstone before Miami. So apparently that was planned, I believe. I don't think it's anything new. I probably can't say anymore, so I'll be careful if it's not in the article. I'll not say it, but yeah, so he is going to be in that car, so that's something worth keeping an eye out for on socials, where everyone tries to read too much into that. But interesting to see what he does in that car, actually. In some ways, he says, laughing about people reading too much into a private test, but it'd be quite funny if he comes out of that and goes, wow, that's a beast, and he was smashing the lap times. Obviously different conditions, different everything, so can't really read too much into it. And a lot of rumour about Max Verstappen and Aston Martin and Mercedes and the usual driver market speculation that we all are guilty of engaging in from time to time. So I keep an eye on Max. There's some talk about sabbatical as well. I think that came from the BBC, but we'll see what happens. But I don't know why that image is so weird there. There is actually a Racing Bulls there on the stream. Sorry, I'll tweak that for tomorrow. I can't do it now, but I'll tweak it for tomorrow. That's all out of whack there completely. So, but yeah, no, I don't know what's going to happen with Max Verstappen. He may yet stay with Red Bull. They might turn it around, but Mercedes sounds like the place to be for next year, or anything with a Mercedes engine. So maybe the Alpine stuff might be partially true. As they're showing a replay of Yuki Tsunoda's crash yesterday, where he just what seems like an insignificant touch on the inside, doesn't he? With his left front, and just touches a barrier and then just straight into the wall on the exit and smashed his car up. So all good though, Yuki. Much better this afternoon in FP3. So looking good for him, hopefully. He seems to have stepped up. It was always going to be tough in Japan. Short notice, home race, big pressure, difficult conditions, limited practice because of all the fires. So I think he's doing all right. He's doing okay. I'm not going to engage in that nonsense today. CPB says Max is in talks with Elon Musk to race for Tesla. My sources ask Jeeves. Well, you know, great search engine. Very much miss it. Very much miss it. Norris, Piastri, and then Russell as third. Says the Hat Pro. So get your predictions. What's your top 3 for today in quali? I'm going to stick with my prediction of Norris for pole, Piastri for the win. because I'm determined at some point in this season the pole sitter won't win a race. So Norris, Piastri, top 2, Verstappen third is where I'm going to go today. Even when the car's a bit of a what did somebody call it the other day? Tractor. Even when it's a bit of a tractor, Max is always capable of pulling a lap out and surprising. So I'm going to give him top 3, but wouldn't be surprised to see Russell up there. But I'm going to go Norris, Piastri, Verstappen, all the while hoping it's Piastri or Verstappen who gets pole. But there you go. That's just me. You may all have very different opinions to that, or very different allegiances, I suppose, whoever your favourite driver is. CPB says Audi. I'd be very surprised if Verstappen went to it's not a brand new team, is it? Because it's Sauber, but you know what I mean. I'd be surprised if he went there with, Red Bull are building their own power unit, but then Audi are also, well, they've got Ford involved, but Audi are also building their own power unit. So it's all brand new, whereas a Mercedes power unit, which we know they can nail after 2014, or even just a switch to that team, I think that's more likely than Audi. But a lot of people talk about this exit. He may stay at Red Bull. It doesn't get said enough. He may stay at Red Bull. Who knows? Mad Steve says McLaren Nation. That's John's having a different conversation. Pascal, Piastri, Russell, Norris, and Hulkenberg Q2 is for Pascal. Q2 for Hulkenberg. Be good to see. Or any Sauber would be good to see in Q2. Jonty says Piastri, Russell, Norris today. Annette's gone with Piastri, Norris, and Verstappen. Anushka says Oscar, Norris, and Leclerc. Formula Film says Norris, Piastri, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc. Wow, top 5. That's bold. Says Norris, Piastri, Verstappen is a safe-ish bet, to be honest. Yeah, it is really, isn't it? We're boring, aren't we? Sticker Brick says Max, Lando, team swap. That would be quite incredible. Whoever gets to the first corner wins tomorrow, guaranteed, says Nick. Yeah, not an easy track to pass on. We saw in F2, I know different cars and whatnot, but we saw in F2 that the battles for the DRS out of the final corner rather than into it, obviously since it changed a few years back, that really set things up quite nicely, because it just the DRS was quite powerful. And I think now if we're going to see passes, it's going to be into turn 1 and 2, because I'm not convinced. The DRS zone between, it's technically 20, it's really 25, but 24 through to 27. There's no point passing into the final corner, because then you just immediately have the car behind with DRS able to breeze past on the straight. So I think we're going to see a lot of using the first 2 zones to close up and then sit back in 27 and just pass on the straight or into turn 1. So hopefully a lot of side-by-side stuff and cutting of the chicane like we saw in Formula 2 today from, was it Mini who was doing that today a lot in F2, spoiler alert. So that's what we're going to see, all the action tomorrow. But 13's possible, 27 is possible. It's just not really any point if you're going to get passed again down the straight. So, because that DRS detection's on the exit, we'll see. But you're probably right. We've seen this season, haven't we? Pole to win, pole. In fact, No, Vegas was pole to win as well, wasn't it? When was the last race that wasn't pole to win? Let me know. I know it was pre-Vegas, wasn't it? So it might have been Brazil. Possibly. Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas says all-wheel dingus. That would be quite an achievement, but nice little callback there. I like that one. Don't normally do predictions, but I'll say Piastri, Russell, and Verstappen, says Alfie. Norris, Russell, and Leclerc max out in Q2, says Fudd. There we go. Nick says all McLaren front row, and there's only a 10th difference between Piastri and Norris. Whoever is first stays first. And yeah, just it was Mini then. Mini only did 10 full laps. Well, it was Qatar. Was it Qatar? Sean's on Wiki again. Where would I be without this website? I thought Verstappen had pole in Qatar. Oh no, because Russell inherited pole, didn't he? When Verstappen got that weird one-place penalty, that's when they started having their little fallout, wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. So Verstappen did take P1 in quali, but then got a penalty, if I'm correct. Unless I'm misremembering, which is absolutely perfectly possible. I'll just double check that. So, quali. Max Verstappen set the fastest time, but received a one-place grid penalty for driving unnecessarily slowly in Q3. That was right, which upset a lot of people. Then he went on to win the race. So, yeah, Russell started on pole, didn't he? But Verstappen did set the fastest time in Q1. So it was Qatar then. I thought, yeah, that's where I'm getting mixed up. I thought it was Brazil, but yeah, still been a while, or still feels like it's been a while. Yeah. I think Red Bull will do okay, says Nilesh, hopefully. Qatar, yep. That's correct. Hey, Matt, hope you're well, mate. Yeah, their problems are overblown, says Nilesh. I don't think they're overblown. Well, I mean, you could make the argument. The music started. We'll get to quality in just a second, but I don't know if it's overblown or if it's because they were so high and then they've fallen so quickly that it feels maybe more dramatic than it actually is. Does that make sense? Maybe. It could be that, but also, I'm going to say it. The F175 logo looks like F115. That's it. That was all. Nothing more. That's all I have to say on that. Just a fail on the branding. There you go. Right then, so let's get rid of those photos then, and we're going to get into the usual stuff for quali. Hopefully everything is going to reset, which it should do. I may just have to mess about with the live timing, so bear with me for just a second. So there is your track map. We'll put the slides up there. Hopefully they'll behave a little bit better this time, but yes, I will have to reset this. So close the timing. Multitasking, yes. Good for quality. Thank you as always to the awesome folks over at Multiviewer for F1 for providing or allowing us to use the live timing on these streams. Stream isn't sponsored, but obviously if they're allowing us to use it, then it's only fair to give them a shout out. Appreciated as always. It's I've moved the track map instead, like a full. We'll have to rejig that. I think we're okay. Just rejig it. There we go. But yes, no, I appreciate that from them as always. Obviously, I can't show you the race footage or the track footage because FOM and, copyright law. It's not just FOM. It's not just an FOM thing. As much as I'd love to just nick their content, I'm not going to do it. Not worth it. And we're not getting back into the debate. That is the way it is. So yes, we've got the live timing, which I have changed to best lap. Let's all assume I'm going to forget tomorrow to change it to last lap, and we got the track map as well there, which should let us know where we're going. I'll keep you updated as always. Big news as always. Blue-headed padding must be used. So there you go. Look, yeah, I think this should be good. Quali tends to be quite good. It might be quite a long session. Don't forget that there is a tendency for the odd red flag during quali at tracks like Saudi Arabia, Monaco, any street track. Miami, of course, next up, which I'm very excited for. Just to clarify again, because I often get people go, it's because you hate America. It's not an anti-America thing. I just think I'm quite happy to have 3 races in America, but there are many tracks that are far better than Miami. I just do not like the track at all. I'll tell you what it is very quickly. We could probably save this for the next race, actually. I'll do it before we get started here on the in the session. But everything about Miami just feels fake. All very staged. I don't know why. Just don't like it. But there you go. I'll still enjoy the weekend because I enjoy my racing. But, we could get a lot of red flags at a point on these street tracks. So we could be sat here at 9 o'clock tonight waiting for all this to finish. But we'll see how we go. Hopefully not quite that long in quali. It just dawned on me that Jeddah's track map looks like... imagine someone sat on the classic Hockenheim track map. Someone sat on it. Yes, with a very wobbly bum. No. I suppose an element, the high-speed nature of it, I suppose. Yeah, I like that. The Hatbro said everything about Miami is fake. Yeah, it's the fake marina. The celebrities will all turn up and are like, oh my god, I so love F1, and then disappear before the race even starts because they've had all their photo ops and whatnot. And yeah. I really thought that was what Vegas was going to be like, and I actually think Vegas is less cringe than Miami, which is saying something because people keep telling me that Vegas is cringe all over as a place, but still want to go. It's still something I'd love to experience, but yeah, not a big fan of Miami at all. As a track, I've never been to Miami. I'm sure it's a great place. I'm not criticizing that. Just as a track, not a fan. And I'm also fully aware, by the way, that in 2 weeks' time I could be sat here going, wow, or just over 2 weeks' time going, wow, what an incredible race we've just seen. I'll shut my mouth. But, that's fine. If Miami shuts me up by giving us a great race, we're all winners. So there we go. Also means I'm quiet for a minute. So, yeah. Matt says final corner is going to be interesting to watch. Yes, that's where we see the incidents of Max Verstappen's crash in 21. We had Tsunoda yesterday. Who else? Was it Latifi or Sargent who crashed at that final corner during the race, which brought out the safety car in possibly 21, actually. Possibly 21. Yeah, it's a weird one, but we are go for Q1. Keep an eye on tyres today and what they're using in this first session. There's been a lot of theorising about the possibility of drivers maybe keeping a set of soft tyres for the end of the race tomorrow, just in case we get a late red flag or safety car, and it might be worth putting those on to take a gamble. So it might be interesting to see if a McLaren or a Red Bull or a Mercedes maybe try the mediums in this session initially. We'll soon find out because they'll all go out there. It could be everyone will use this as softs, but we'll keep an eye on those early doors and see if anyone wants to save a set. But I guess get out there, get a lap in, and maybe... I mean, that's the key, isn't it? If a Norris and a Piastri go out there, put a lap in, it's enough for Q2 on their first run. May as well not bother going again. So we'll see. Scrap Miami for Indianapolis or Watkins Glen, says CPB. What did I watch the other day, CPB? Oh, you won't know. I'm asking you. It was 2004. It was Marc Genet in a Ferrari going through the corkscrew. Not a Watkins Glen, obviously. I forgot where it was now. It's gone completely out of my head. You'll know where it is. You'll tell me in a minute in chat. But yeah, showing F1 cars can go round there, and I think that's now still the unofficial lap record, which is quite a story. So yeah, that was. See, John sees was it Latifi who crashed? Is a redundant question, Sean. Laguna Seca, that's it. I couldn't think of it. That's what I was pondering there. But yeah, no, that was quite special to see. But not convinced these cars will be quite so good around there. But I wouldn't mind that. I just think there's a lot of great tracks in the US that we could be using. Even Indianapolis with the infield section, I've got no problem with that at all. It was all right. It gave us some good races. So I'd quite like that over Miami. Got to have 3 races there. Why can't we have COTA, which is great, Vegas, which has actually been pretty good considering what the layout looks like, and then let's have Indy or rotate an American track. Got enough of them. Daytona, says Red Raven. There you go. Road America as well as an option there for Charlie. So lots of tracks out there. But yeah, we'll talk about Miami more. Sorry. I'll moan about Miami more in 2 weeks' time, but we'll moan about Saudi today. Ocon is going to be first here to put in a hot lap, so he will go fastest. So don't be surprised to see all those purple sectors. Of course, if you are new, purple on the timing screen there means fastest overall. Green means personal best, and yellow means not improving. So just so you know, to clarify that one. Neelish says... Very quickly, counterpoint, and it's a fair counterpoint, many may feel the same, don't ruin classic American track's character with FIA Grade 1 changes. It's a fair point. There'll be a lot of people who agree with that. Leave our tracks alone. But I'm sure some of them are already at Grade 1 license if needed, so I might be wrong, but it's a fair point. Into the final corner then for Esteban Ocon. Oh, really bumpy out there. It's a smoother surface here than in Bahrain, so tyre deg tomorrow will be a bit less rough. Did he open his DRS and close it again there? Probably just a trick of the camera, but Ocon 29.924. Doesn't want to give the McLaren a tow. And then Bearman beats him on a 29.167. That's 7.5 tenths quicker that from Ollie Bearman. So Ocon, not the cleanest of laps there, and both on the fresh tyres. Isn't Laguna Seca too short? Anyway, it's a hat rust. I'm not sure, to be honest. But I mean, we raced around the outer loop in Sakir, didn't we? That was more out of necessity than anything else, I suppose. But Austria's quite short, isn't it, as well? So we've got a short track. So I'm not sure what the track length is there, though. So Albon 28.8, Hulkenberg 29.0, and Doohan 29.1. Alpine are one to keep an eye on today, by the way, as well. They might be dark horses for another sneaky top 5 qualifying session. Jack Doohan's looked a lot better as well. I tell you what, Jack Doohan, considering a lot of us as Gasly goes second all thought he wasn't going to make it to Miami, and we had the conversation over the winter, didn't we, a lot during testing streams, he's steadily improving, and I think he's sort of at a point now where Alpine are kind of playing that down even more than they already were, the idea that he's going to get replaced. So I think he'll at least make it to mid-season now. But if he keeps improving as he is, no reason to move him on. So I realise I probably just jinxed him for the entire weekend now, but there you go. Norris goes fastest on a 1:28.026. That's 8 tenths quicker than Alex Albon. What is Charles going to do here in the Ferrari? Over the line, he's going to go 28.5, half a second slower than McLaren. Not thrilling, is it? But not awful. Let's see what Hamilton could do. 28.9, 8 tenths, nearly 9 tenths off McLaren in the end. So, yeah. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce her name, but there's an actress there, and I have no idea who she is. And you're all going to tell me it's somebody really famous who I should know, and I should be appalled for not knowing, ashamed for not knowing. But Verstappen only 4 thousandths down in the first sector on Lando Norris, so a good first sector there for him. Leclerc did a purple final sector, by the way, 28.221, 8 thousandths quicker than Norris, so some pace in the final sector there. Thanks, Matt. Matt has no idea who she was either. That's fine. I thought I was being a bit like it was going to be massively famous and I didn't recognise her or something. 10th down. No, 100th down, sorry. Looking at the wrong thing. 100th down for Max Verstappen there in the middle sector. So he's got some pace here, but it is only Q1 and these times are going to keep coming down. By the way, 29.2 degrees air temperature, 37.3 on the track temperature. So she's Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. As you can tell, I've not watched either. No, I have. I saw the first one. I was drunk, though, so I don't remember it. So, for a change. A tenth of a second just over between Norris and Verstappen at the front. Piastri, 2 thousandths down on his teammate, but actually purple in the middle sector. So, we're on board with Yuki Tsunoda, though, on his nose cone. Does he get through the final corner okay? He does indeed. A little bit of twitch on exit, but that might just be the camera angle. Over the line goes Yuki, up to third, actually. That's not bad at all. 28.4, so 2.5 tenths off his teammates, something like that. Piastri's about to go quickest, and he does indeed by 7 thousandths of a second. Wow, that's going to be close today. Russell then. Russell's gone purple in the middle sector, but I think he's about 2 tenths down, I saw on the TV timing there overall on the lap. So this isn't necessarily going to be a great lap, but we'll see. I guess fourth, 28.282. Not a great first sector. Purple middle sector. Good final sector. We've got a plastic bag on track there that Kimi is swerving past. The only danger there, of course, is getting into radiators, airboxes, things like that. So they might yellow flag it and just do a VSC while they clear it. But we'll see. It's not that dangerous. It's just an overheating thing, isn't it? So Kevin says, "Look at your man, Sean." Yes, I'm a huge George Russell fan now, because I've done one video in 7 years praising him, and it was a short, and it was a clip from a stream where I gave him some praise, and now I love him more than anything in the world, apparently. And I'm on the Kimi Antonelli hype train because I gave him praise too. So I thought I'd really lean into that. I thought, Kevin. So if you come with fanboy of somebody, next time we'll do one of these streams, which will be next for Miami. Obviously, I'm live tomorrow. We're wearing the other one of this today. Tomorrow is my Mercedes weekend. I will wear that for Miami to make a point. Tsunoda fanboy. So 28 says, yeah, I can't remember what the time was this morning. We did do it earlier, didn't we? 28.0. And there's definitely more speed out there. Track will keep evolving as well with it being a street circuit. And it is a street circuit. There is a debate. Had a debate with somebody in the comment section of the preview. It probably wasn't a street track in the first year because it was purpose built, but it has since been opened up to street traffic and public traffic, so it is now a street circuit. So argue with yourselves or argue with the wall, because that's the way it is, I'm afraid. I will start. That's a hill I'm happy to die on. Bearman then is in the drop zone. We could have got Bearman, Stroll, Bearman, Sainz, Ocon, and Bortoleto in the drop zone with 8 minutes to go. So plenty of time to get some laps in. Lots of lap times being deleted. Bortoleto, Albon doing again. So lots coming in here. Wins Hug says, thank you for your live. Our subscription doesn't work abroad. No problem at all. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate the company. Sorry to hear that it doesn't work abroad. That is annoying. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'll try and keep updated as best I can. I'll try my best. We've always got the live timing, so if I wander off somewhere on a weird tangent, it's all there still. As Hulkenberg moves into 12th, Norris does a purple first sector. Yellow in the middle sector, though. What 27.8. He has gone fastest, though, by 0.2 of a second. He was only just down in the middle sector by a few hundredths of a second, so it wasn't a disaster for him. 28.1 in the final sector is purple. Isaac Hadjar, final corner. Big correction, and that's going to cost him a load of time all the way down the straight. Very close to the wall. Did he touch it? He says he hit the wall. Exit of last corner, and he does indeed with his right rear. Nice little tag there. Alonso 6th. Yes, Kevin. CPB says, wow, Aston have pace. For now. Doohan's had another lap time deleted. He's done 2, 7, and 7 so far of corners. Obviously going for all 27 in this session, so let's see how he gets on with that. Hamilton's down in 18th at the moment. It is 0.2 up, I believe, overall over Doohan. But quite low down there. Used tyres for him at the moment. So I'm assuming then, and I haven't got all the info in front of me at the moment, I'm assuming the McLarens did a couple of cooldown laps then and then went again. As Hamilton moves into 10th place, 28.6. Put your Alonso shirt on. I that's another one. Sauber and Aston Martin. I can't get one. I was gonna get a Stroll one just to be weird, but I'll see if I can find one for Miami. Mercedes this weekend. We'll go from there. Also, random tangent while they're all in the pits getting some new tyres on, by the way. Didn't realise F1 merch had suddenly become so expensive. Stroll 11th, by the way, in the second Aston. They're 6th and 11th at the moment. Yeah, I was a bit surprised. At the price of some of it. So went to some other websites and had a look around and shopped around. So yeah, gotta make the money. They're all skint, of course. Alex Albon then, he's on a lap. Just coming up to turn 5 or through turn 5 now into 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. It's such a weird track. And then it's 10, 11 and 12. Apparently that's a corner. Apparently it's not a corner at all. A lot of these are numbered. A lot of them are not corners. Yes, they're flat in an F1 car, but some you barely even move. So I'm not having that. Not having that. Through 13, then it's 14, and then it's 15, 16, and 17. That'll surprise you, I know. Did he hit the wall on the outside there of 16? I think he did. But he's all right. Kept going. Seems okay. Just watching his left front now out of paranoia more than anything. 3/10 down overall. That would put him, if he completes the lap at 3/10, around 4th. He'll lose some more time, though, through the rest of the lap, of course. So Piastri's back out there. He's on used tyres. Verstappen on used tyres as well. Soft tyres, I should say. So they are obviously thinking about keeping some sets for later in this session, as you'd expect, but maybe with an eye on the race tomorrow. Albon down the straight. That DRS was further down than I thought it was actually there. Goes 4th. He did go 4th again. Good lap from Alex Albon. They're great lap there from Alex Albon. 28.2. They are new tyres as well, so he's obviously gone in the gap. We're watching here. Is this Pierre Gasly with a tyre warmer still on his right front? Which was, suboptimal, as Bernie Collins would put it. So that might go to the stewards, as Martin Brundle just said there. Unsafe unsafe release potentially, but usually a team fine there, if anything. Here's hoping they don't delete any lap times in 45 minutes, says Foot. Yeah. Oh, there is that, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, so just because you're seeing the times here, it doesn't mean this is how it stays. That was so ridiculous. I know they've explained it, and you know, fair dues, these things happen, but completely shafted Alex Albon last weekend, didn't it? But then I suppose the argument is Alex Albon should have had a lap in the first place to avoid being in that position, but then somebody else would have been shafted by Hulkenberg getting through. So either way, either way. I would pay for a retro Vodafone Marlboro Ferrari shirt from the Schumacher days, says CPB. Yeah, I keep looking for a retro Benetton shirt or jacket, but I can't really find any that I like. And then the ones that are there are like on F1 Authentics, and they're like £352,000 or something like that. Because I get emails from F1 Authentics. Why don't you buy this? And I'm like, oh, I might do actually. And it's like 16 grand. Oh, maybe not. Can I have a deal on that, please? Ideally, lose most of that. I'll give you £6. Jack Doohan improving over Ollie Bearman. He is currently in the drop zone with Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, and Gabriel Bortoleto. I know we've still got the rest of the session to go here, 2 minutes, but I'm quite surprised to see the Alpines down there, given where they've been last weekend and, of course, earlier in this weekend in practice. They've looked pretty decent, so a little bit surprised. But it's so tight in that midfield and towards the back end of the grid. It's one tiny mistake that costs you half a tenth could cost you a place in Q2. It really is that close. So not a great surprise in some ways, I suppose, but I'm still going to say I'm shocked. Why not? Peter says, wow, where have Aston come from? Absolutely. Big surprise. Antonelli goes third, by the way. A long way to go still. Everyone got to get their laps in, but I mean, it's good pace from Aston at the moment. So I tell you what, Fernando Alonso is going to get a cheeky little toe here off the Alpine, who I'm imagining is going to jump right out of the way to try and stop him having a toe. But that's really good thinking there from Fernando. Got tucked in behind Doohan really nicely there. So watch Fernando, particularly through the first sector. His best was a 32.0. Let's see what it is. A 32.093. I'm going to keep an eye on Alonso now before we look at anybody else, as Hadjar moves up to 10th place. Lawson needs to improve as well. Verstappen goes fastest, 27.7, 200. It's nearly 300s off the pace, quicker than McLaren, sorry, but they will improve as well. Piastri, well, I'd imagine. Waiting for Alonso's first sector, 30. Oh, it is better. We'd expect it to be better, but not quite as exciting as I thought. We've got a yellow flag out there. It looks like Bortoleto's cut the first corner or the first chicane. Lawson goes 11th, ahead of Hadjar, actually. So good lap that from Liam Lawson with 30 seconds to go. Better Saturday, hopefully, for him. Pierre Gasly's improving. Bearman's improving. In fact, pretty much everybody on the lap right now is improving. I think Piastri's bailed out of his. He has indeed. So he might, unless it's an outlap, it might be an outlap. Tsunoda goes 5th in the Red Bull. Gasly close to the wall on the exit there. 28.7 to beat. It is up to 9th and a 28.4 for Gasly. Here comes Ollie Bearman. Goes 10th in the Haas. Lewis Hamilton is on the bubble here in 15th place. He needs an improvement because Ocon is... In fact, Ocon did improve, but stays 19th if the timing screen is right there. 29 flat. So I think Ollie Bearman... Unless Ocon's on another lap here, I'm not sure. I'll keep an eye on that. First car to take the flag was Stroll. So out of the session, definitely Lance Stroll. As Piastri's going to be 3rd, Alonso 11th, so he didn't improve in the end much, if at all, there. So, yeah, Ocon's out. So Ocon's out then. So there we go. Ollie Bearman has out-qualified Esteban Ocon, who's down in 19th place. That's a bit of a surprise. Here goes Hamilton. Does he improve enough? He does indeed, up to 9th place on a 28.372. I think we're pretty much there. Just waiting. Hulkenberg's had his lap time deleted for track limits at turn 2. They got him this time. This is what we've got a yellow flag for. So Bortoleto into turn 1. Got a nice toe on Verstappen. And then just, big slide. It lost it into turn 1. Not a spin as well. It's half spin, let's call it. He's gone in there and then just lost the car. Maybe a bit too hot in there. Yeah, that's a shame for Bortoleto. He says, yes, I lost it, mate. And he had his lap time deleted as well. But we have lost Lance Stroll, Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan's a surprise there for me. Nico Hulkenberg, Esteban Ocon, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Verstappen fastest. 27.7. 1, 2, 3 separating the top three. 0.123. Antonelli 4th. Tsunoda 5th. Albon 6th. Russell 7th. Sainz 8th. Hamilton 9th. Gasly 10th. Bearman 11th. Alonso 12th. Leclerc 13th. Lawson 14th. And Hadjar 15th. Like I say, Stroll, Doohan, Hulkenberg, Ocon, and Bortoleto are gone. Goodbye. Farewell. Unless someone gets another lap time deleted. Nick says no big shocks. No massive shocks in there. Little bit surprising, given the pace and improvement he's shown throughout the weekend at Doohan's down there. And with Bearman up in 11th, you'd expect Ocon to have had the speed to get through. But I'm not going to, it's not like we've just lost a Russell or a Piastri or a Verstappen, is it? Not a massive surprise, but yeah. Bravo Tech Media says, who cares about Max being fastest? ? Nobody in this session. If he's still there in what, 40 minutes time, then yeah, people will care then because it'll be pole position. But I don't read too much into the times in Q1 and 2 outside of those who get knocked out, really. But what was the gap across the field, having said that? 1.6. I think Bortoleto would have improved as well, you'd like to think, with a second run, so that comes down a bit, but 1.6 really separating the whole field there. Not a lot in that midfield again. I mean, 3 thousandths between Albon and Russell. Maybe a bit much to call Russell the midfield driver there, but you know what I mean. Carlos Sainz 700ths further back. 100th, 200ths back to Hamilton. Gasly half a tenth. Bearman a tenth. Alonso 12 thousandths. Leclerc, and he burped. Leclerc 4 thousandths. Lawson 9 thousandths. Hadjar 10 thousandths. There's nothing in there at all. So Stroll missed out by 74 thousandths, let's say, and doing less than a tenth off as well. So yeah, less than a tenth off Stroll. Sorry. So it's close in there. It's close. That's the point I'm making earlier. One little wobble, tiny mistake, could cost you everything. So there we go. If Yuki moves to Aston, sure, says Neelish. What's Neelish answering there? I'm intrigued. Farting golf balls makes a fair point. Maybe Stroll should go through, but the time won't be deleted till after Q3. Yeah, true. It's true. Ocon saying, well done, guys, to the team for Ollie getting through into Q2. Nick says, we'll do and be driving in Miami. I think he will. I think he's done enough. Albon did touch the wall. He did hit the wall. I thought he was on board. Quite a wallop, but he still got through comfortably into 6th place there. So maybe we'll have a Williams doing what Gasly did last week. Do you agree with me that the pressure on Ocon is increasing? I think he's the driver most at risk now, not Doohan, says Red Raven. I agree that the pressure will mount, or he's under more pressure than I thought it would be initially from Bearman. And if he continues doing what he's done today, yes, the pressure will mount. I don't think he's more under threat than Doohan. I still think I think he'll make it to the mid-season, but we'll see after that, see what he does as he improves. But I think Ocon will be in that car this year and next year. I don't think there's much doubt in that for me, but I agree on the pressure point. Yeah, he'll be under pressure as time goes on. He's not, I still think of Ocon as quite a young new driver, but he's been around for quite a while now, hasn't he? So since forever. I can't remember. Was it 2016 or 2015 he debuted in Belgium? You're going to tell me 2014 now, but it was somewhere around there. It's been around a while. But yeah, I'd be surprised if Ocon's under any pressure for his seats, but he'll be under pressure if he keeps doing that. Definitely. But don't forget, it's only a couple of races to go now. In fact, I can't remember what race we're on. 5, aren't we? So it might be more than that, where he put in an incredible performance. In fact, I think he did last weekend, didn't he, in the race? So points come on a Sunday, as you know, Red Ravens. So yeah, I'll judge him tomorrow. Ocon's one of those drivers that is quite capable with some good strategy and some good racing. Of going from 19th to finishing 10th. We've seen it recently. So Belgium 2016, says Red Raven. There we go. I'm not sure where that Haas is either, to be honest. Thinking about it, Red. I don't know. It's Aston telling Lance Stroll they're out, but they're going to check track limits because it is really tight. So they're going to have a look at this here. So I wonder if they're going to leave him in the car just to make sure they're ready if he can go out. That'll be interesting. Keep an eye on that one. Yeah, Haas are a bit weird because they were sort of nowhere in testing. We just thought they were looking after the car. They were last and really struggling in Oz, and then they had a really good few races and picked up some good points, and then sort of all over the place, aren't they? I can't really read them at the moment. So I always say a third of a season. That's when I'll start to judge drivers properly in teams. A third of a season. Then we get the reset potentially with Spain, if that makes any difference. So who knows? But yeah, what's a third of a season these days? Round 8, isn't it? So yeah, ahead of Spain, typical. It could all change. That's a different conversation. I was going to read that. Like, somebody else having a conversation there. So yeah, we'll see what's going. We are go for Q2, by the way. Alex Albon, first one out there. Intrigued to know if anyone's got F1 TV and all the onboards. Let me know. Can't get it here in the UK, but I'd be intrigued to know if he's still sat in his car. Out comes Alonso. Trouble is, I don't know how the rule works here. Even if he's still sat in the car waiting and they're checking track limits, if all of these go out on track now, what happens then? Because let's say Lawson was over track limits and gets thrown out, his lap time deleted, and Stroll should have got through, and Lawson's heading out on track. He's taken part in Q2, so surely they can't do anything anyway. Surely that's a post-session thing. I don't know. Weird. I've never looked into the rule before because until last weekend I never really had to think about it. If the Ferraris don't make Q3, you'll find me with a wine bottle in hand, says Anushka. To be honest, the funny thing with Ferrari, and maybe you can vouch for this as well, is if they do really well, you're having a drink. Otherwise, you're having a drink. I just feel like Ferrari are a team that lead me to drink. That's kind of where I'm at with Ferrari. Great weekend. Let's have a nice drink. Every other weekend, I need to be drinking. Antonelli saying that was close with the release there with the McLaren. It was quite close, but all good. All fine. The hat processor feed has been cut. Is that to Stroll's car then? So he must be out the car then, yeah. I think. Germs Lawrence Ramos says, what does S1 mean? S1 is sector 1, so the first sector of the lap. So sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, then the overall lap time. There we go. Yeah, out of the car, yeah. So there we go. So sorted. Brilliant. A 10-place penalty for McLaren might spice up the race, says Nick. Yeah. Could do, but kind of want, yeah, I don't know. I want them up there with Verstappen and with Russell and with whoever else is in the mix, because it just makes things interesting, doesn't it? If we are going to have McLaren winning pretty much every weekend, we'll see. Then I kind of want both of them up there so they can fight each other. Zach Brown was saying pre-qualifying, by the way, to Sky that he's expecting at some point they will come together, but that when they do, it'll probably be a racing incident. So he's already laying the groundwork for his PR. Incident involving car 30 noted unsafe release. That will be no further action. No further investigation from the steward. So Lawson's okay there with his unsafe release. Timing screen's a little bit slower today for some reason on the FIA message feed. Maybe they're just checking a few things this weekend following what happened last weekend. A lot of confusion over track limits and all sorts, wasn't there, last week? And even track limits in the race. I thought Antonelli was going to get a penalty. He had like 6 track limits violations, but I think the timing screen was clocking multiple when it was only 1 and getting confused with itself, and that just confused me. And you know what I'm like when I get confused. Every minute of every day. Piastri on track now, just come through turns 16 and 17. Bearman 28.6, Albon 28.5 are the 2 times on the board at the moment, 600ths between them. Piastri absolutely flying, as you'd expect, purple and purple. Russell, personal best, obviously, because it is his first lap in Q2. Gasly a 28.4, Hadjar a 28.6, first for Gasly, fourth for Hadjar. Used tyres, by the way, for Albon, Bearman, Hadjar, Antonelli, Russell, Tsunoda. Sainz 28.3 goes fastest. He's on used tyres. Right, for everybody, apart from Norris, Piastri and Verstappen on used tyres according to the timing screen. Piastri does a 1:27.690 and goes fastest. That is a rapid time. Verstappen purple though in the first sector and 0.2 up in the middle sector overall, but not purple. Sorry, 0.2 up overall on the lap, but down in the middle sector. So Verstappen has some pace here. Antonelli goes third, 28.3. Albon's had his lap time deleted for track limits at turn 8. So that probably a slow lap, I think. Verstappen goes fastest on a 27.529. He did say he expected Red Bull to be better this weekend in race trim because lower degradation, but I don't recall him saying much about being better over one lap. So positives for Red Bull, positives. Tsunoda, where's Tsunoda? 12th at the moment. Needs to do a lap time yet. Still relatively early days. 9 minutes left in Q2 and a whole Q3 to come, of course. Leclerc, 4th. What's Norris going to do here? So he's obviously personal best to personal best because he's not done a lap time yet. A little bit of a toe there off an Alpine. Into the final corner. He's currently 14th with no time. DRS wide open. And over the line he goes. And goes fastest on a 1:27.481. And one of those weird laps where none of his sectors were purple, but it was just nice and consistent and quick across the board. So there we go. So the top 3 have got fresh tyres. Everyone else on used tyres. So bear that in mind. But yeah, there's time to be found there. Scott says Formula E on network TV in the US right now, but we need cable for F1. It's because nobody watches Formula E if it's on subscription services, or don't seem to anyway. I barely hear anything about Formula E these days. So I couldn't even tell you when they last raced. Just watching Piastri here. Oh, sparks there. Does he ride the curb? Yeah, he does just wallop the curb, actually. So may have lost a bit of time there. But, I mean, he's what, 0.2 off the fastest time at the moment. So maybe time to be found anyway. Lando's going to get a toe off his teammate here as well. He let his teammate through in the final corner and then got a nice toe off him down the straight. And then Piastri moved right over to the left and immediately backed off. He knows what he's doing. JC Sources, how are you? Need Gasly to keep improving. I'm very well, thank you, mate. Hope you are too. On this Saturday, yeah. Gasly, where is he? 10th at the moment, 28.4. Used tyres, there is definitely time to be found yet for him, so not concerned there. Good lap in Q1 as well, so I'd be surprised if he doesn't make Q3, given his pace across the weekend, but so far across the weekend. But we'll see. We'll see. No, top 3 was on new tyres, Freddie. They were on new tyres, so everyone else on used. Albon's just gone out on a set of new soft tyres, but everybody used apart from the top 3 there. So trying to hang on to. I'm just listening to Bernie Collins saying they're trying to hang on to 2 new sets for Q3. Verstappen front. Double check the front of the plank hit quite hard on the exit of turn 4 into 5. Oh, he did indeed, yeah. He really did give it a wallop. So they want to check that one, and they will do. Currently in the drop zone, Alex Albon, Ollie Bearman, Isaac Hadjar, Fernando Alonso, and Liam Lawson. Liam Lawson yet to set a time, though, so obviously wasn't happy with his sectors on the used tyres. 34.8, 28.9, yeah. Not great at all there, actually, on the sector time, so... in he comes for a fresh set of new tyres. 5.5 minutes-ish to go. I'll do my YouTuber spiel. Thank you everyone for joining me this afternoon. That's not spiel. I genuinely mean that. It's great to have you for some company there. I'd only be talking to myself anyway, so let's at least look slightly less insane. 1,400 of you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do drop a like. We're at 79 likes, so let's get that over 100. That'd be amazing before the end of Q2. And subscribe if you are new as well. Lots to come this season. We have got, this weekend, in fact, all being well, there will be a short out from Thomas tonight or first thing tomorrow, depending how quickly I work after he sent it to me at 10 o'clock tonight. Wrapping up the day's action from the paddock. There'll be another one either Sunday evening or probably first thing Monday. Probably get out for Monday breakfast time. With a wrap up of the weekend overall from Thomas. Got a video out on Tuesday, which will be Elizabeth. I'll be back on Thursday and Saturday next week with videos. There'll be shorts in between as well. And then before you know it, it's back onto Miami Race Week. So thank you to Jax, to Naomi, to Ian, to Frank, and to the Baritone channel, all for subscribing. If you have subscribed and I'm not giving you a shout out, apologies, Streamlabs doesn't always list everybody. So if you have, and I haven't given you a name there, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. The support for the channel. So I'm not ignoring you. It just doesn't always tell me who has and hasn't. So, well, it doesn't tell me who hasn't. Nothing tells me who hasn't. Everyone who hasn't subscribed. You know who you are. Equally, if you have subscribed, you know who you are as well. So there you go. Where are we at? 4 minutes. That's a minute and a half. That did nearly. Bloody hell. Talking nonsense, Sean. Here we go. They're queuing at the end of the pit lane, ready to go for a run. So Albon's got in the gap again. And he's just coming up against Piastri at turn 5 and 6. I hope they're going to get out of the way for him. He's only got, in fairness, only got Antonelli and Russell after Piastri, so might be okay here. But just something to bear in mind, because Albon... No, he didn't complete his lap. He's completed his lap, 28-1. So he's okay. He's on a cooldown lap, isn't he? So he might go for a second run here. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate the sub, mate. Thank you for the company. It's always good on a Saturday. I enjoy the race streams, but for some reason I really enjoy the quali ones more. I think it's because they could be a bit more waffly, can't they? And a bit more chatty, rather than me just staring at the TV and shouting the wrong driver's name at you. Anthony says that, what's your prediction on who is going to get P1? I went with Norris for pole and Piastri for the win. That was my pick on Thursday, and I've backed that up today. So, but I'm just watching Verstappen here. Just he's in this, but I realise that getting into Q3, McLaren could yet pull out a couple of extra tenths from somewhere. So, yeah. Fair enough, Nick. Nick says because quali is better than the races these days. I really enjoyed Bahrain. Actually, I enjoyed calling that as a B-Tech Crofty. That was good fun. It was quite a good race. Hard to keep up with though. Yeah, Japan was tough. Not just Japan, Japan. Bloody speech impediment. Drives me mad sometimes. Yeah, Japan. That was a marathon. Let's put it that way. But here we go. Let's get these final laps in. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes on the clock in Q2. So at the moment, Gasly, Bearman, Hadjar, Alonso, Lawson all out. But of course, they're going to go out and set some better laps, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 teams in the top 10. Can we get a 6th in there, Gasly? Maybe a 7th with Bearman? That'd be cool, wouldn't it? As many teams as possible. Kaori says quali streams and race reactions. Yeah. In the end, unfortunately, race reactions weren't getting the views, and that's really I'm sorry. That's such a boring YouTube answer in it, but it's the way it is, I'm afraid. Nobody was watching them, well, relatively speaking. 30, 40, 50,000 views on a race watch along. 4,000 to 6,000 on a race reaction. If one's got to give, there's only one way people are going to go. So yeah, but yeah, I do miss doing the reactions, to be honest. Here comes who's gone there? So Russell and Antonelli, 4th and 5th at the moment. Sainz we're on board with, not bad, 6th place. Just like his first sector was poor, so half a second down. 6th overall. Albon drops to 8th here. This isn't to set the grid for these positions, don't forget. Behind them it will be 11th and down. Bearman doesn't improve. 28-7. Interesting. So that's the end of his session, probably. Hadjar goes 11th, doesn't get through. 28-4, 2/10 off top 10. Here comes Liam Lawson, who does sneak into the top 10 on a 28-191. Only just, though, but at the moment, Hamilton out. Hamilton improving in the first sector, not a brilliant middle sector. Over the line, though, and... watching Leclerc over the line, goes into 6th place. Watch, I was looking at Road Ferrari there. Maybe the yellow helmet gave it away. Hamilton goes 8th, so he's through. So Lawson drops out, but he has out-qualified Isaac Hadjar. What does Gasly do? Gasly goes 8th on a 28-0. Tsunoda needs this lap. He is out as it stands. I'll leave my comment for a minute. Just a second. Here comes Fernando Alonso. He's improving across the board here, Fernando Alonso. Goes 13th, splits the Racing Bull, so my comment is redundant now. 128.303. Tsunoda needs this lap here. And he does get the lap. It's 7th place. Albon drops out, so we've lost Alex Albon, Liam Lawson, Fernando Alonso, Isaac Hadjar, and Ollie Bearman. Critical lap there, and a good lap there for Tsunoda, under pressure actually, into 7th place. So that's good stuff for Tsunoda there. So Norris fastest in Q2, 127.481. Verstappen second, half a tenth behind. Piastri. 100th further back in third. Russell, half a tenth further back. Antonelli, a couple of tenths further back in fifth. Leclerc, 6th. Tsunoda, 7th. Sainz, 8th. Gasly, 9th. Hamilton, 10th. We lost Albon, Lawson, Alonso, Hadjar, and Bearman. 6 teams in the top 10 there. McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, Williams, and Alpine. Yeah, 6 teams in the top 10. Nice. Hamilton survived. Whoa. Skin of your teeth stuff. 7 thousandths of a second he survived by there. So Hamilton is through. Albon, Lawson, Alonso, Hadjar, and Bearman all out. Great lap from Gasly there. I'm going to say it again. I made the point when I was waffling through it there. Tsunoda, under a lot of pressure there, in the drop zone, needs the lap, delivers the lap. Got to give him credit for that. So it's what Red Bull need, isn't it? The second driver under pressure to deliver when they're under pressure and not bottle it, basically. And that's what he's done there. So good stuff from Yuki. Kind of surprised by Alonso. He's been pretty rapid until Q2, says John T. Yeah, again, it's difficult though, isn't it? Because he's what? 2 tenths off Q3, so it's still a good lap. It's weird. Based on Q1, I agree, a little bit surprised. If you told me before we went live, Alonso will get knocked out in Q2 and in 13th place, I totally believe that's where he should be. So, yeah. Will you guys be mad if Max gets his 5th championship? I wouldn't. Not at all. I would be I'd be dancing on stream. Don't let the Mercedes merch fool you. I spent a fortune making a point. Because that's the kind of moron I am. Yuki only 4 tenths off Max. That's the key point to consider. Much closer than Lawson was, or Perez has been for about 6 months, says John T. Yeah. I hope he can be there in Q3 as well, once everything's sort of flat out going for it. Max Verstappen does what Max Verstappen does, hopefully. I keep seeing this advert. I mean, nothing if you're not in the UK. I keep thinking it's sort of some sort of Game of Thrones thing, but it's not. And it just disappoints me. It's an Audible thing. I suppose. Yeah. I'm trying to sort of pick between. If I it's because I'm picking between your conversations, and I don't want to sit here and throw somebody under the bus with a comment. Yeah, I'll wait till I see one that definitely is not somebody else's conversation. I've got this habit, if you knew, of just turning around to reading part of a comment out and making somebody look really awful, and actually they meant something else and we're talking to somebody else. So. What we're watching is this Ollie Bearman. We're going to watch it as he comes into 4. Yeah. Karun there, talking about a lack of grip for Ollie Bearman. Big snap of oversteer through 4 and 5. Yeah, not a scruffy lap for one reason or another. Again, yeah, another correction. So I'd say on board, that's a really awful lap for Ollie Bearman. Which is why he's 15th, 28.6. But he outqualified his teammate, so still a good start. Sean, here we go. Here's the question. Next year, will it be 6 out in Q1 and Q2 in a top 10 shootout, or 5 out in Q1 and a top 12 shootout? My assumption is that it'll be 6 knocked out, and then 6, and then top 10. I mean, there's no reason why it couldn't be a top 12 shootout, but my assumption would be we'd just lose 6 slowest, and then a top 10. I think Q3 is likely always going to be the top 10 shootout. So nothing officially confirmed, but I would, unless it is in the regulations for next year, which I haven't read the 26 sporting regs yet, which they will be working on. But my assumption would be 6 out, and then top 10. Or maybe they'll mix it up. When I have a top 11 shootout or something, I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Fuss says that's what it was in the past. Like when we had 12 teams, it was 7, then 7. So yeah, I'd be surprised if they go any other way, but then it's the FIA, isn't it? So who knows? And FOM, they might do something different just for the lols. Let's have a quick look actually while we're in the lull. Anything? Just looking at post-session quotes for those that got knocked out. See if there's anything that's come through that's worth picking up. Tight qualifying session. We knew that anyway. Team's most competitive session apparently for Aston Martin. Yeah. Nothing that I don't think we'd managed to work out, to be honest. So I'll keep an eye on that, though. You never know. Could be a bit of gold in there that we miss. But interesting, Aston seems to, or Stroll seems to think that's the best session so far for Aston. Well, again, we probably kind of spotted that, didn't we? You in chat were saying, look at Aston, where's his pace coming from? So maybe it's not a surprise, but 13th and 16th seems better. Feels better. Without going and looking at the stats, that feels better from Aston, given that I think I've probably mentioned them once, and that was when Alonso crashed in Australia so far this season. Give Gasly a solid car and he would be top 5 regular in qualifying, says Dallin. Now, depends what the car is, I suppose, doesn't it? But yeah, no, I think he's shown since getting dropped from Red Bull that he's really, not that he was bad as a driver, but come good as a driver. He's really improved and matured, and I think he's one of those in the midfield that doesn't get forgotten because he does get the hype when he deserves it. But I think some people forget that Pierre Gasly is still a good driver, and I said it last week. I think it was. I think that's always, that Red Bull demotion will always hang over him, unfortunately. Even though that was a long time ago, and he's come a long way as a driver. He won a race in 2020. He's been on the podium. He's driven really well. He's been one of the strongest in that midfield over the years, on and off, I suppose. But yeah, it's difficult with that kind of comment. We have started Q3, by the way. I get the point, but it's kind of difficult because F1's massively about the car as well as the driver. So if you give a couple of drivers a dominant car, they're going to do well, aren't they? So it's whether or not those meh drivers get a decent car. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't, I apologise. I'm just waffling while I wait for some laps to be on the board, because it feels like This has been the longest gap between sessions for some reason. Whether there were a couple of yellow flags actually at the end of that session, so I wonder if they were just clearing up some debris, but nothing to suggest that the session was delayed at all. So, yeah. Here we go. Right, first laps on the board. These are going to be important now. Everybody is using used tyres except for Russell, Verstappen, Norris and Piastri at the moment, unless that changes on the timing screen. So Antonelli, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Sainz, Gasly and Hamilton, just bear in mind those laps. It'll be a little bit slower than they can manage because they aren't on fresh tyres, but it depends on how many laps they've done on the tyres, I suppose, in some ways. Yeah, it's only sort of 3 laps on them, but you still want a fresh set, don't you, for quali. 3 laps in the race, you can run them with no problems, but yeah. Piastri purple, obviously is the first one to do a lap here, so these are going to be purple until somebody else gets going, as the Red Bull gets out of the way of Piastri there. Coming through turn 18 and 19 now. This blast all the way to 22. DRS wide open now. Here he goes. Keep your eye on the sector times, but 27.6. Pretty good in there. Difficult to read till we get some of the laps on the board. Russell's done a 31.9 and a 32.0 for Antonelli, so good so far from Piastri. We'll watch see what Norris does. He'll be coming through the first sector soon. He's just got going now on his lap. It's purple in the middle sector here for George Russell. 27.5. There was some... Norris is in the wall here, I think. Norris is in the wall. Lando Norris, red flag, is out. Piastri got his lap in. Sorry, I'm just taking a moment just to make sure I have got the right McLaren. It is Norris. I looked at the timing screen and he binned it. He stopped and then the yellow flag came out. So that's a surefire sign they're in the wall. Lando Norris is out. He will start at worst P10. Well, I would assume everyone's going to set a lap time, so he will start P10 at best, is what I was going to say, because he may need repairs. Let's have a look. So he's coming through here. Oh, he's lost it. Is that where Mick Schumacher had that big shunt? It's not as big as Mick Schumacher's. Some of the corners look quite similar here when you're... Yeah, I think it might be. And he's just got into the wall on the outside there and lost his left front, and game over for Lando Norris. What's he... Listen here. Turns in. Martin Brundle has hit the throttle, jumped on the curb, and then bang into the wall. Game over for Lando Norris today. He will start 10th at best. So he's just called himself an idiot with some stars before it, so I assume flipping idiot. Yeah. So I'm just trying to work out what that means. Sorry, it means Piastri clear favourite for pole now. And if he does start there and gets to turn 1 first, he might be able to do it in Bahrain. Long old way to go this weekend yet. We're still going to get through Q3. Piastri might bin it in a minute. But, yeah, Norris is out. Medical car is heading down there at speed. That's a job would be cool, wouldn't it? Just driving the medical car. I'd be straight in the wall. So, yeah, to confirm, Lando Norris has hit the wall. He is out of the session at turn 8. Turn 5. Chat, what's that where Schumacher lost it 4 and 5 in 22? The big one he had in quali. You might have answered it in chat. Yeah. I feel like it was. Sorry, I feel like it was. I'm umming and ahhing, so I'm just trying to work out now where... I'm trying to remember where Schumacher had it, because they were talking to... I think it might have been Zach Brown over the pit wall, Skyward, and then they lost it, didn't they? So, yeah. Eunice says, told you you'll be surprised who starts pole with a winky face. Look, if Piastri gets pole, I wouldn't be surprised, but I went with Norris on Thursday, so I've got to stick with it. So, Lando crashes Papaya Millennium Falcon in the depths of Cloud City, betraying the rebellion, says CPB. See, there's always a story. Was it turn 23 for Schumacher? He had 2, didn't he, in 22? Look at the map, actually. You're right, yeah, 22, 23 was a left-hander, wasn't it? I mean, they're all, yeah, but I know what I mean. On the map, yeah. That way. I know what I'm saying. Ignore me. Sometimes I say things out loud that's supposed to say in my brain that makes sense to me and nobody else. So they're both left-handers, but looking at it that way. Is this the F1 live or just statistics? Well, it's not the F1 live, and I can't show F1 live because, you know, the law. So, yeah. Lando bites the dust, says Taffa, best day ever. So, I don't know if that's sarcastic, given the crying emojis afterwards, but I don't know. Let me know. I'm not too fussed. My drivers are still in there, so that's fine. But yeah, he's out the car. He's fine. He'll start 10th tomorrow, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't pick up, at worst, a top 5 finish, unless he bins it in the race, of course. But Schumacher crashed in 11, 22, and 23 was in 21. I'm going to take your word for that, Red Raven. It's not something I can check at the moment, but yeah, no, I get lost. Like I say, sometimes when you're watching go around the track map, you can see where they are. You can see the corner numbers. When you're watching it on the TV, some of these corners, because of the camera angles and the way they're profiled, they kind of look quite similar. So they come through there, and you go, oh, that looks like where Schumacher crashed, but actually he crashed halfway around the rest of the lap. So yes, Norris has crashed. He is out. It's through turn 4 and 5. So he's just gone through. He's gone into 4, turned in, got on the power early, clunked the curb, straight into the wall. I just need to reset my skybox here because it's about to die on me. There we go. Dalian says maybe Lando intentionally binned it because he always starts better from the middle than he does from pole. There we go. Maybe. Yeah. Do you know what? I want to start 10th because I'll get a better start. Yeah, Piastri was over the line before the red flag came out. Yes, he did. Crofty's saying he didn't, but he thinks he didn't. I'm going to rewind it. I have rewind power. I have the power of rewind. Let's have a look. So the line is there. He crosses it. Yeah, he's easily over the line. Easily over the line. What are you talking about, Crofty? The line comes up just after the final corner. It's not further down the straight than that, as far unless it's changed. It's Thursday. James says, loving your live streams. I really don't get the Lando and George hate from fans, ? Thank you, James. Appreciate your company. Thank you for your super chat. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. My George hate is completely forced because it came up in testing that apparently I because I don't support British drivers, people thought I meant I hated them, and then I started complaining about George Russell being a bit, jumpstart Norris, a bit of a grass, and so I kind of led into it a bit. So I don't hate George. I certainly don't hate Lando. No reason to hate it. Well, no reason to hate any driver I've never met them. Well, that's a lie. I've met Norris, I've met Leclerc, but I have no reason to hate them. So in the fan base, it is forced because people like to be controversial because it's unfortunately, James, and you'll know this. You're not daft. You're going to get more clicks on George Russell's a piece of than a piece of excrement. That'll do. Than what a lovely guy George Russell is. So people will just do that, and it's the same for everybody. It's just it's attention seeking. Problems at home, I imagine. But yeah, I don't know how you can hate anybody you don't really know. But there you go. Lots of people hate me. No idea why. My eyes crossed listening to Crofty, says Kevin. Crofty's all right. He's quite I've said this before, actually. We're on a random tangent now. Here we go. He's quite a dominating presence when you meet him as well, which is quite... All right, mate, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the CPV. George Foreman. Yeah. But yeah, thank you, James, for your super chat. I appreciate that. And I try not to listen too much into that nonsense anymore from socials. And Nick's absolutely right. Not being a fan doesn't mean you hate someone. Exactly that. Also, while we're on this note, saying hence the shirt, saying someone's had a good start to the season or someone's not had a good start to the season doesn't mean you are on a hype train or you're a super fan, and it doesn't mean that you hate them. So it's called being, balanced. Just I'm just making a point, and I'm not arguing with anybody. There's no point arguing because it's the interweb. People will do what people do, and don't forget that probably about half of who you argue with on X is a bot anyway. Half of the people you argue with on X is a bot, so that's how it feels sometimes. Especially when you guys like an F1 post and they'll say something like, great session from Alonso, and then underneath it'll be Sam 7324569. Alonso, great session, and just all of them are just repeating what they've said just in different ways. You're like, okay, yeah, this is dead internet theory. I think we're nearly there. I watched something from Ocean Liner Designs yesterday about AI around Titanic and AI videos and things like that, and dead internet theory. So yeah, I don't think we're far off that now. We're pretty much there. I'm real. As by the way, look. As by the way, is Elizabeth. Elizabeth is not AI. By the way, Elizabeth is not AI. Elizabeth exists. There is a video on this channel with Elizabeth's face in it. She exists. She's not AI. You can go onto social media and search for Elizabeth Blackstock. You will find her and her Deadly Passions, Terrible Joys podcast, and you can see her face. You can watch a stream with Ash once a week on Twitch. You can see her face. She's not AI. She is real. I know people do it to annoy me, but she's not. All right. Lando's got a mistake in him under pressure. It says all natural beef hot dog. Thank you very much for your super chat, mate. Appreciate that. I'll give you a heart there. I think I did do James's. We'll give you a like on there as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate the super chat. Another mistake today, yeah. Out of the session, but we are go. We are away. Cars on track. Yeah, that was it. That exactly. She's a synth. She's not AI. She's a synth. The Institute Centre. And I'll make the point again to those who dislike her for no reason other than she's forgotten more about motorsport than most of us know. So there you go. And she's great to work with as well. She's funny. So, Anyway, we are going for Q3. No AI on this channel. And I will say this actually very quickly. If I'm ever asked to do AI on this channel, I'm gone. Not happening. I love Ocean Liner, says John. Yeah, your friend Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs. Yes. Really nice guy. Really well presented. Not a scruff like me. And really knowledgeable as well. Yeah, great guy. Point of order, says John T. Liz knows more than Sean, me and Stuart combined. Think about that. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know less than you and Stuart combined. I mean, I don't know that much. F1 history, pretty good at it. Technical side, pretty ignorant to it. And I just like watching my cars go fast. Yeah, that's fair, Red Raven. It comes with practice, doesn't it? She's not doing that many. I mean, it feels like a lot of them in it because she's doing the post-race weekend videos because I'm streaming all weekend and messing around with shorts. So she takes that off me just so that I can breathe, which is really appreciated. But that's all she's doing. She's not like she's doing every video. So a bit more practice and she'll get there. Sorry. I'll have a drink. 2 secs. I've got half a cup of tea here that's stone cold. And I claim to be British. Disgraceful. Yeah, after I said it, I tried not to laugh, to be fair. Craig says your intelligence is artificial, pun intended. Yeah, it's about right. I'm not even offended by that. I keep looking here. This isn't the timing screen. This is just loads of F1 information, so I look like I know what I'm talking about. As we watch... Max Verstappen, whoever, driving around here. Purple in the first sector for him. Purple in the middle sector for George Russell here. Let's get back to track action. 5.5 minutes to go. That was a random tangent. I haven't got any crumpets, no LD, but I should have. I love crumpets. Bit of jam. Very nice. 300s down overall. as he comes through the middle sector, Verstappen. So he's in this, but it's all going to come down to what Piastri does. But lots of cars staying in the pits. If you are just tuning in, we had a red flag after Lando Norris crashed at turn 5. He's out of the session now as Sainz goes second, 29-1. These are all used runs. Well, Norris is on the track, is he? But yeah, everyone used tyres at the moment except Piastri, who was on new tyres. But I think these ones from Verstappen were new when he first went out. And that's pole by 1,000th of a second for Max Verstappen. Yeah, they are used. Three laps on them. So, wow. So he's taken provisional pole. But we have still got the second runs to come from Piastri. This is going to be interesting. Thank you, Paradox. Appreciate that, mate. Well, let's see. 0.001. 1,000th of a second. Oh, he couldn't, could he? I'll try not to celebrate it. Like, I suppose I have to pretend to be really hyped for Mercedes if they were to be up there, don't I? So I can't really go cheering for Max Verstappen in a Mercedes shirt. That'd be a disgrace. It'll upset everyone. Right, here we go. So I just paused there to make sure I missed something. I was watching replays. I wondered if I missed a track limits thing or a tap on the wall, but he didn't. So 3 times on the board: 127.5, 127.5, 129.1. Verstappen, Piastri, Sainz. Everybody out on track now, apart from obviously Lando Norris, who will show on the track map as out on track, but of course he's crashed. Very low grip turn 1, says Max Verstappen. The tyres were not ready, according to GP, so that's understood. So that should be an improvement. So I assume, has Max got time to come in and go again? 3 minutes 20. Should do, shouldn't he? Unless it's a race, he is coming in, so should be okay. 1.5 minutes to get round if he needs to go that quick. But also, we shouldn't have any queues at the end of the pit lane today because of that red flag's kind of thrown everyone off now, hasn't it? And out of sync a little bit, so... Kaz says, when will the video be out on YouTube? Which video, Kaz? I've got... So this stream will go public immediately. I've changed the settings now, so it'll stay public. So if you're watching on delay, it'll stay out instead of going unlisted and then me having to republish it. It does take a while to process, so bear that in mind. The short from Thomas will be out much later tonight, probably pushing 11 p.m. UK time. Tomorrow, live at 5:30 p.m. for the race watch along, then followed by a wrap up from Thomas. Again, going to be quite late, possibly even, in fact, it probably will be Monday morning for that one, breakfast time in the UK. And then Elizabeth video will be out on Tuesday, then I'm back on Thursday. So, yeah, that's what's coming up. Russell has gone purple in the first sector. It's the shirt. By 1/10.5. Let's see what Piastri does. Let's not get too excited about a big surprise here. But the door is open here for somebody to sneak in and cause McLaren some problems tomorrow, with Lando Norris being, at best, 10th place. Here we go, then. George Russell, what's he going to do through the middle sector? 59.5 for Verstappen. He's 3 tenths up overall, but down in the middle sector on his personal best and down on Verstappen. So this is at the moment looking like a very, very good lap from George Russell. But here goes Oscar Piastri starting his lap now. Right then. What's he going to do? Out the final corner. Down the start-finish straight. DRS wide open. Here we go. 27.5 to beat. 27.4, 1/10.5. Antonelli goes 4th on a 27.8. Now, what can Oscar Piastri do? 31.6 in the first sector to beat from George Russell. Piastri. 31.630, half a tenth quicker than Russell. So he has gone quickest at the moment. We'll see if Verstappen is going back out again, so we'll see what he can do. As well, but this is closer than I thought it was going to be, unless Piastri is about to slap in a ridiculous middle sector, but that's not where McLaren have been. I'll pause a second till he goes through there. Yeah, the middle sector isn't where they've been strongest this weekend, McLaren. Max Verstappen, a 31.507 in the first sector for Max. He's absolutely flying. He's flying. Piastri out the final corner now. Nice and close to the wall. Doesn't touch it. Comes to the line. Opens the DRS. What does he do? It is provisional pole on a 27.304. The checkered flag's about to come out. Max Verstappen is half a tenth up overall, but down in the middle sector. This is so close. Russell, a tenth off pole in the end, but P2. This. I don't know. We're just watching Verstappen here. Forget everybody else for a second. I'll wrap that up in just a moment. And what they're doing, but this is going to be close. Max Verstappen, nicely out the final corner. Nice and clean. 27.304 to beat. Max Verstappen goes provisional pole on a 27.294 by a hundredth of a second. Max Verstappen, as he did in Japan, pulls a lap out when he needed to, surprises everybody. Max on pole, Piastri P2, George Russell 3, Carlos Sainz just up into P6, by the way. Leclerc 4th, Antonelli 5th, Sainz is 6th, Hamilton 7th, Tsunoda in 8th, Gasly 9th, and Lando Norris in P10 for McLaren. Max Verstappen on pole position for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Biker John says, never in doubt. It was that first sector got me there. Saw the first sector, just had a feeling. But yeah, what a front row that is. What a top three that is. Piastri very much in form. Just behind Verstappen, who we know is on form and could pull it out of the bag in that car, even though the car's not epic. George Russell also very much on form in third place there. That's a pretty decent top three. Then you've got to look at Norris trying to come through the field from P10. So a tasty grid there. Lots to look forward to tomorrow. But yes, Max Verstappen on pole. We'll go through the order in a moment. But yes, we'll just wait for the reaction on the radio here. He sounds pretty happy with that on the radio. So simply lovely. There you go. Yeah. That's wasn't expecting that. I thought Max would be up there this weekend. But I wasn't expecting pole today. And that's, yes, all right, fine. Norris had his crash, but he's still beating Piastri, so he would have been in the mix either way, wouldn't he? But yeah, simply lovely. The guy's just inevitable. That's just simple as that, really, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go through the tyres in a second. Let's see what you're saying in chat there. Just at Ferrari, by the way. Leclerc P4, not bad, to be honest. It's not a bad result at all. Sandwiched between the two Mercedes. Sainz up in 6th is one of the stars of the day as well. What a lap from him. He seems on a Saturday at least to just be getting to grips with that car a bit better now. So hopefully he doesn't get whacked by a car in the race tomorrow, and he might be able to get some more points on the board. So yeah, like I say, the guy's just inevitable. So what were you saying while we're getting excited there watching over the line? Jeddah 2021 vibe says Max Sense. I can't speak today, it's terrible. Piastri, hurry up, says Gustav. Yeah, Kaori was nervous while that was all going on. Qualifying this year is golden, says Freddie. Do you know what? I think you're right. It's been great, hasn't it? Even in those sessions where you're sort of pretty confident you're going to get a McLaren pole, it's still been exciting and close at times, hasn't it? And it's, somebody always throwing themselves in the mix there, or a surprise result like Gasly last week and Sainz, I suppose, this week. So, yeah, no, I agree with that. I think quality's been great this year. Yeah. Peter says, you have got to be kidding. Yeah. Unreal. It's nothing but 100th of a second. It's so close. It is kind of ridiculous. Anushka saying that. Amazing. This is F1. 100th. Yeah, nothing in there at all. Matthew says, what happened to Norris? Norris crashed at turn 5 in about halfway through the session, wasn't it? In the end, I think it was. I seem to recall. So yeah, in fact, I can't rewind at this point. No, I can't. That's annoying. Yes, he crashed. So he was out. So he's P10. No lap time in the end either. So big mistake there. Obviously, if a McLaren wins tomorrow, whoever is the winner will leave the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as the championship leader just before a little break to Miami. So big moment here. I tell you, I expect Norris to come through the field tomorrow from 10th and score better points than just one. But it's tougher here than it was in Bahrain to pass by a while. So this is going to be interesting. Annette says it's very pretty. What have I missed, Annette? Was there something I missed on TV? It was really cool there. Yeah. 4 different cars in the top 4. I think Jonty just put a stat as well. Said, where are you, Jonty? 5 teams in the top 6. That's what I want. And this is the thing as well. I'm not going to get back into it. I promise I won't. We did it at all testing. I moaned. This is what convergence does. This is why leaving the regulations alone can really give us some great stuff. So that's all I'm saying. No more. Where Annette lives, apparently. Oh, thank you, Kevin. Yeah. I've never been. It's a bit of a flight for me. I've been on one plane all my life, and that was to the Isle of Man, so that was just that. As a plane journey, it was nothing. Yeah. So I don't do well with heights at all. Anyway, Max Verstappen is on pole position for the 2025 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, with Oscar Piastri just 100th of a second behind in second place. So close at the front. After Norris's crash, it looked like Piastri had that in the bag, didn't it? And then Max Verstappen, the inevitable Max Verstappen, just turned up and did that. George Russell in third, a 10th off Piastri, and just over a 10th off Max Verstappen's pole time. Charles Leclerc a little bit further back, 2.5 tenths in 4th place for Ferrari, with Kimi Antonelli in 5th place, a couple of tenths off the Ferrari. 6th place, great lap from Carlos Sainz to go into 6th, and only 3 tenths off Antonelli and 8 tenths off the fastest time, the pole time, so good stuff from him. Lewis Hamilton, again, seemed to struggle today, down in 7th place, 6 tenths off his teammate and 9 tenths off pole. Yuki Tsunoda, 8th place. Without sounding ridiculously condescending, but I kind of feel like baby steps for Yuki at the moment. He was struggling in Japan a bit under the pressure, and that first weekend in the car, improved last weekend, improving again this weekend. He's in the top 10. That's where he needs to be at the moment as he keeps to improve. So hopefully another step forward tomorrow for Yuki in 8th. 9th place, Pierre Gasly, a second off the pole time, and just a 10th and a half off Tsunoda. And actually Tsunoda, by the way, only 3 thousandths off Lewis Hamilton for 7th. So pretty decent there from Yuki, all things considered. Lando Norris, no time in Q3 because he crashed at turn 5, well, 4 and 5 really. He was out pretty much halfway through the session, unless I've got my times wrong there. Alex Albon, 11th, 28.109 with Liam Lawson in 12th and Fernando Alonso in 13th. Isaac Hadjar, 14th in the second, Racing Bulls. Ollie Bearman in 15th. Lance Stroll, 16th. Jack Doohan, 17th. 18th for Nico Hulkenberg. 19th for Esteban Ocon. And 20th for Gabriel Bortoleto. We'll stay live till 1:30. So any questions, get them into chat. If you are disappearing now, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do drop a like before you go. We're 3 away from 200, so that would be great if we could do that pretty much now. And subscribe as well if you are new. There is loads to come this weekend. We'll have Thomas's wrap up out later tonight, and then there's the stream tomorrow for the race watch along from 5:30 p.m. BST. We are now, aren't we? British summertime. It's Easter weekend, and then Monday morning there'll be a short out again for Thomas wrapping up the weekend. Elizabeth with you on Tuesday, me with you on probably Wednesday and Thursday, and then again on Saturday as well before we build up to another race week the following week, which is Miami, and I cannot wait for Miami. So yeah, appreciate the support today as always. Oh, quote from Coulthard on F1 TV from Jonty says they're all exceptional athletes, even Lando. Damn. Says was that whilst Lando was crashing, or was that before that? I haven't got I'd love to have the F1 TV coverage over the Sky stuff, but there you go. Yeah, I don't know what to say. We'll do predictions in a second as well, but I'm just trying to. I don't know what to say to all that. I'm still a little bit. I'm not surprised. It's Max Verstappen. It's what he does. But I was kind of, yeah. No, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Just wasn't expecting it. So I suppose I was surprised. But so if anyone can overtake Max, it's Oscar. Fingers crossed, says Annette. Annette will be desperate for Oscar to do that. The run to turn 1 tomorrow, it's fairly short, isn't it, here? It's not the longest, so it could be interesting down there. I imagine we're going to get some elbows out. But we are still early in the season, so it's getting the points on the board early, so maybe not worth that at the moment. But it's a big weekend for Oscar. And the thing as well in that, and you'll not like this because you'll want him to win. But second place today, if Lando Norris only manages fifth, for example, that's still a really big result. So he doesn't need to take too many risks up against Max Verstappen. Verstappen, well, no, I was going to say he's got less to lose. He hasn't really, has he? Because again, if that car comes good and he keeps delivering laps like this, he's right in the mix. But I feel like Piastri will want to just make sure he gets the points early doors and wraps it up. He'll want to win and he'll take it to him, but I'd be surprised if he gets too aggressive early doors. We shall see. I might be wrong. The top three might crash and Norris might then go on and win it from 10th. Who knows? What shirt will you wear tomorrow, Sean? I'll wear the other one of this. I'm going to be Mercedes this weekend, and then I'll get another one sorted for Miami, and then yeah, whatever happens after that. I suppose really a Ferrari one for Imola, I guess. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I might even let you vote on it. Why not? You can vote on the next one. But yeah, so this weekend I'm all Mercedes. So there you go. I spent a load of money just trying to make a point. Let's do predictions then. Get your prediction. Do me your top three. I like it when you do a top three. Because there's always a surprise in there. Someone always surprises me. Did Pascal, by the way, get a... No, he didn't get his Hulkenberg or Bortoleto Q2 win, let's say, today. So... yeah. It was quite a big gap, wasn't it, to Russell Antonelli? Sorry, I was just looking at four-ish tenths. Ross, yeah, no, sorry, Nick's just saying about big gaps of teammates. He's got a point, actually, yeah. Sizable gap to Antonelli, big gap between Leclerc and Hamilton. Although I don't like comparing the two, given what that second car's like, and it is Tsunoda's third weekend in that car. Big gap to Verstappen, between Verstappen and Tsunoda. And then obviously you've got Gasly up there whilst you've got Doohan down in 17th. Yeah, there are some big gaps there. You're right, yeah. Yeah. Racing Point says in the chat to a guy who is a Max Verstappen fan, Super makes the Anglo-Saxons angry. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm a Max Verstappen fan, so I'm furious that he's on pole. Absolutely furious. Piastri, Verstappen and Russell for Nick. Bravo Texas Norris will recover. He will, but I think it'll be tougher than Bahrain, won't it, for him around this track? He can overtake, but it's not going to be as easy as Bahrain. Well, not that it's easy to overtake an F1, but you know my point. Red Raven says Piastri, Russell and Norris for top three. Lewis says Russell, Norris and Leclerc. Piastri, Norris and Verstappen for the devilish guy. Eunice says Max Verstappen is Red Bull, the only car that goes faster than the excuses of the other drivers. CPB says Verstappen, Russell and Leclerc. Carlos P6 is looking good, says Kevin. I'm just thinking about tomorrow now. Sorry, Kevin. I agree, by the way, just to be clear. I do agree. I'm just trying to think now what he can do from 6 tomorrow, because you'd like to think on form, if they are on form, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Norris will be past, won't they? You would think. Never a guarantee, though, of course. But yeah, if he can get points tomorrow, I think I'll be happy for him tomorrow. Johnson's we're not getting 10 laps without at least 2 safety cars tomorrow. I think I predicted 2 safety cars on Thursday, so I could see it being one of those races, you know, Johnson. You made it the point in the comment section to the preview. It'll be either really boring or really unbelievably mad. But I could see it being one of those races where, like, the first half, maybe even 2/3, will be really, really a bit flat, and we'll build it up to be more than it is. And then suddenly somebody will make a mistake, stick it in the wall, and then we'll get like 3 safety cars in 10 laps or something. Safety cars breed safety cars and all that. I can see it be one of those races, and it's just chaos at the end, and no one knows what's happened, and somehow, I don't know, Leclerc wins. Oh, could you imagine me if Leclerc wins a race this season at the moment, the way it's been going? We might even get a late red flag, which could really spice things up, but yeah. Feel free to laugh at me tomorrow, but again, I don't expect more than 15 finishes, says Red Raven. I went 17, I think, on Thursday, so I'm not too far behind you this time on that one, but there'll be accidents. I'd be amazed if there are 20 finishes tomorrow. Absolutely. Sad Mariners fan who's not from Grimsby, thank you very much, mate, for your super chat. Says, do, Max Verstappen. There's probably a tune in there that I should be singing, so I apologise if not. Craig says, Piastri, Verstappen and Russell. We all know Williams' race pace is garbage to sports made. We'll see tomorrow, but I'd be surprised if he finishes 6th. But I suppose it depends what happens ahead, doesn't it? It really, really does. Poor day for Sauber today, but the race is tomorrow. It is a street circuit, so anything can happen. Keep out of trouble and see what happens, says Pascal. Absolutely. What's that? Oh, that's a Mary Poppet. Sorry. Bravo Tech says Max can go fly a kite. That's a Mary Poppins thing, isn't it? At the end. A joke towards the end. Sorry. I just leave me alone. Eliel says Piastri, Verstappen and Russell as a top 3. I'm ignoring the pathetic typical social media BS, so I was trying to skip through. So apologies for missing your comments, because I'm 39 and I'm done with it. I'm done with it, peeps. I'm of that age now, getting angry with everything and annoyed at Radio 1's all bloody noise. I'm at that age now. We never know what's going to happen, and that's the beauty of unpredictable stewards, says Red Raven as well. Yeah, I honestly thought I was going to finish the question before I read it. I thought you were going to say that's the beauty of street circuits, but then I kept reading. I was like, no, he's right on that as well. To be fair, Russell is showing why Mercedes should keep him. Counterpoint, I guess, but no, not counterpoint, but I guess the other way to look at that is. It's the same point, but the other way to look at it is, can anyone give me a reason based on the first 4 races of this season why they should? So you're absolutely right. The reason I say that way around is because that's a point that I made to somebody the other day. You know, give me a reason why. There isn't one at the minute, is there? So you're absolutely right. But 24 races in these seasons these days. So let's see where he is. As I said earlier, 8 races in, third of the way into the season, that's when I'll start to look at drivers and say, you're not doing good enough, you need to step it up, you've been incredible, whatever. That's when I'll start to look at that properly. It's early days, so many different tracks, flyaways, it's all, yeah, once we get to those sort of first 8 races out of the way, I just feel I can judge people properly then. So, have you finished your McLaren Lego set, asks Aaron? Love mine and got my Williams FW14B done recently. I haven't, no. I haven't got any further actually since I last gave you an update on it, so I will. I also picked up we went out for my birthday and I picked up a McLaren Speed Racer Lego set, and I've still got a Mercedes Speed one to do as well. So I need to crack on with that. So I've not finished it yet, but definitely want to, because I'll get it once it's done. I'll get it behind me on the shelf somewhere, and the same with the other ones as well. But yeah, I've kind of got into Lego a bit again since they've got all the F1 stuff out. So feels a bit childish, but I think Lego's kind of changed a lot, hasn't it? It's not really now. I was going to say I wouldn't have given one of them to my nephew, but actually I bought him the massive Optimus Prime for Christmas, so I suppose I would. But there you go. Antonelli doing extremely well for a rookie, says Matt. I think, Antonelli's been, what's the phrase? Better than I expected coming into the season. I'm a little bit concerned for him start of the season. I thought a year too soon, but actually I think he's done all right. I think long way to go. But I think he's doing well and holding his own. He seems to be impressing Mercedes as well, so that's all he needs to do. So, yeah. But the Aaron recommended the Williams out. I'll have a look for the Williams. Yeah, I'd like a Williams one, definitely. There's a couple of others. A couple of others I wouldn't mind as well. Lego sets generally, but there's quite a few F1 ones out there, aren't there? I'd like the big McLaren as well. I can't remember which year it was, but that'd be quite cool. Mad says that hopefully it's not too eventful of a race. I don't think I'll be able to be awake to watch it due to time zones. I'm in Australia. Okay, so I have to pretend now that I don't want it to be a good race just for you, Mad. I hope it's terrible, but also I've got a Watchalong to do, so I kind of hope it's thrilling. So hopefully you can avoid spoilers. There you go, if it is a good race. It is done, yes. Max Verstappen on pole, Piastri second, Russell in third. Platolomio says Aussie here too. Yeah, we're getting to that point now, aren't we, where my chat fills up with Aussies going, spare a thought for us, please. I will. A lot of Australian fans. I think actually, Aussies are my third highest demographic in terms of geography on the channel. So, you're You're all very welcome. And I if it was something I could do to get better times for you, I would, but there's not. It's 4:29 in the morning in Melbourne at the moment. So if you have stayed up, there you go. Good for you. You're real fans, clearly. I don't know why we get off at stupid o'clock to watch these things, but yeah, appreciate the support from Australia, from the UK, the US, from wherever you are in the world. You can let me know in chat. Actually, I won't do shout outs, but I'll have a quick read of where people are, and I'll have seen your name, so there we go. But yeah, Max says simply lovely, mate. Not the Max, Max in chat. But we'll leave it there. I said we'd go till past, and we are basically there now, so there we go. In fact, we are exactly there now. So thank you so much for tuning in. Before you go, please do drop a like before you go. 229 likes so far. Might be a bit of a nasty to get to 300, but let's try to get to 250. That'd be good. And don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new. Lots coming up. So just to confirm again, third time I know, but I'll confirm it anyway for anyone just tuning in. Thomas will have a short out later this evening, which I'll need to do the captions for, but that'll go out probably quite late this evening. 10, 11, 12 o'clock, somewhere around there, wrapping up the day's action in Saudi. All being well, obviously if anything goes wrong it won't go out, but we'll see how we go. I'll be live tomorrow from 5:30 p.m. with the race watch along, and then again Thomas will be out with another short, again probably Monday morning breakfast time, once I've got that all sorted for him. Wrapping up the Sunday and the weekend from the paddock in Jeddah. I've got to say very quickly, I know shorts aren't for everyone, but please give him a watch from Thomas's wrap-ups, because it's so nice seeing on the channel the actual backdrop of the paddock and everything there. It feels awesome. It feels good. Channel's come a long way, so it's nice to see. Elizabeth with you on Tuesday. I'll be with you with shorts throughout the week, and of course I'm with you on Thursday and Saturday as well with content. Then we're gearing up for Miami, so shit tons to come over the course of this 24 race season. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.